Uh, Good morning to all. This is Prashant Kumar from CSE department. Today we will discuss about machine learning topic. This is for third year BTech students. And in this machine learning, first we will see about what are the basic concepts of machine learning. Yes, so this is a very popular technology nowadays. So everybody is working for this machine learning technology. So that this machine learning is very useful to all the students. We will see what are the main fundamental topics in the machine learning. Right. So here first we will see about what is the use of machine learning. So usually up to now what we are going to do is, if you want to perform any task in the system, or if you want to perform any kind of operation in the system, first we are just writing a program. Yes, all you know that a program means it is called a set of instructions. So a set of instructions or set of statements are called as a program, and whatever the operation you are going to perform or whatever the task you are going to perform, that corresponding statements we required, and all these statements are placed in one program, and this program will supply to that system for such kind of operations. So whatever the operations we are going to do in the system, you have to write a program. So we are following the basic approach for performing different kinds of tasks and operations. But whenever the machine learning environment will start, there is no use of the programs, and without giving any programs, the system is going to perform different kinds of operations based on that previous or historical data. So what that operations we are already performed in previously, so whatever the tasks we are already performed in the previous sessions, based on the idea of that historical aspects, the machine is going to learn something from that previous concepts. So based on that previous history or previous concepts, the machine is going to perform such kind of operations. So here this machine learning, actually it is a subset of artificial intelligence. It is one of the part of the artificial intelligence. So in this what we are going to do is, we are just whatever the data we required, we are just taking that only data, and based on that data the machine is going to perform or going to predict different kinds of operations. So here the main concern is the mission is ability to learn. The machine is ability to learn automatically. That means without giving any programs, without giving any explicitly any other kind of programs, the system is going to learn automatically, and it improves the performance based on that previous history or previous tasks. Here there is no need of any explicit programs. So when you performing online transactions in the online any sites like Amazon or any Flipkart, suppose whenever you search any product, in either Amazon or Flipkart, so suppose for example you search, you visited different kinds of products like watches or any t-shirts or something like that. So based on this scenario, based on this historical or previous transactions, next time you are coming for this Amazon or Flipkart, in this situation you will get different kinds of recommendations about what you searched previously. So what the machine understood, so previously this person is checked about these kinds of products, so that he is very much interested about these products. So these sites are recommending you different kinds of products what you searched previously. So the machine is automatically understands that what the tasks you previously searched or what the tasks you previously performed. So this is the actual scenario we are using in the machine learning. Yes, we can see that another definition for the machine learning is here. P means it is called as performance, measuring the performance of the machine learning. And here we are measuring that performance. It is depends upon that these two, with respect to E and as well as with respect to T. Here E means it is called as experience. That means previously what you searched or previously what you performed. So that is called as experience. So based on that experience, it is going to perform different kinds of tasks. So what are the tasks you required? Those tasks are performed based on that previous experience. So totally we are calculating that measurement of the performance of that mission. So whatever the instructions or whatever the data you are previously applied to that mission, so based on that the machine learns and it is going to predict a particular value. You no need to give any kind of programs, you no need to give any kind of other kind of transactions for this mission. So it is automatically going to learn based on that previous data. Alright, next we will see about what are the different types of components in the machine learning. And here we have a different types of components. Here in this main thing is we have to create one model. So the main aim of the machine learning is to create one particular model, and based on that model we need to predict one particular value, and for that prediction we need to supply required data. So initially we have to take data here. What kind of predictions we are going to perform? For that we need to first take that required data. So here data means, suppose if you are calculating or if you are going to predict percentage of the student, so that if you are going to predict or if you are going to find out percentage of the student, that means first we need to take the student's information. So what are the marks or what are the subjects, like that we have to take, and this is the basic data. So what kind of predictions we are going to perform means, according to that scenario we need to take that required data. This is the first criteria in the machine learning. So after taking the data, we just give the training. We just give the training to the model based on the different kinds of machine learning algorithms. We are having plenty number of machine learning algorithms are there, and you choose the best algorithm for try, and based on that machine learning you just give training to that machine. Yes, this is my data. Based on this data I want output like this. This is actual output, and if you want to get this kind of output, so what type of input values are needed. Like that we have to give training to the machine. So initially, suppose if you take that student's information, here this is the subject 1 marks, subject 2 marks, subject 3 marks, and subject 4 marks, and based on the 4 subjects the student will get grade like A grade, B grade, C grade, D grade, fail, something like that. Will get different types of grades. So these are the subject marks. 4 subjects marks we are giving, and here we are taking some training examples, training samples. So nearly 50 to 60 training samples were taken, and for these 50-60 samples, these are the number of grades we will get. So finally like that we are giving training to the mission, and finally after building a particular model, what the training you gave to that mission, based on that mission is constructed one particular model. Yes, this kind of marks are there. Yes, student will get A grade. These kinds of marks are there, student will get B grade. These kinds of marks are there, student will get C grade. Something like that the mission understood, and based upon the training it creates one particular model, and finally for that model we have to check whether that model is gives you that or predicts you that correct output or not. So finally predicting outcome, whether this model is predicting that exact value or not. So after training, after creating a model, we'll give some particular testing samples. Like, so if the student have the subject 1 is 70 marks, the subject 2 60 marks, subject 3 50, and subject 4 79, something like that if you enter, then the model has to predict the student is belongs to either A grade or B grade or C grade or D grade. This is called as a prediction. So after training process, based on the training, one model is created, and finally we'll check that model whether the model is working properly or not. That means it is predicting the values correctly or not. So this is the components of our machine learning. So first we need to take data, and then that data is given as training, and after training the machine is understood what the training we have gave, and based upon that it creates one particular model, and finally the model is checking. So this is the scenario we are using in the machine learning. So these are the different kinds of applications of machine learning. The machine learning can be used in any kind of applications or any kind of technologies. Main important applications are, it is used in facial recognition, and it is used in product recommendations, and it is used in spam filtering, and virtual personal assistant, social media optimization, healthcare advancement, mobile voice to text, text to voice, like that. These are the main applications of our machine learning. So machine learning can be used in these kinds of applications. So this machine learning is used to identify that a face, based on the facial features, it is identifies whether is a authorized or unauthorized. And product recommendations, if you search any products in the online, next time if you open that online, then it will recommend the products what you previously searched. And the machine learning is also used to filtering of the mail. So daily we are receiving different kinds of mails, and some mails are in inbox, some mails are placed in important category, and some mails are pasted in spam category. Here spam is nothing but any unrelated messages are came, then those messages are placed into spam. And virtual personal assistant, just like we are using like Siri and other kinds of personal assistants, we are using this machine learning. And in the social media also we are using, and in the healthcare based on that symptoms we can identify that the person is getting what type of disease. And in the text to speech or speech to text, if you want to transfer from text to speech or speech to text, also we are using that machine learning. So these mainly we are using for machine learning applications. And next we will see that what is the process of machine learning. So in this process we are having different kinds of stages. The first one is define object, the second one is data gathering, third one is preparing data and data exploration, building a model, model evaluation and prediction. And this is the first one, define object. From the first one, and it will finally conclusion of prediction. It predicts something, it predicts that output value. So initially what we have to do is we have to define an objective. That means what is the actual problem and what we have to find out. First we carefully observe that what is the problem statement. If you know the problem statement, you can able to define a particular solution for that. So first you have to identify that, and first you have to understand that what is the main objective. And after identifying that objective, next we have to gather the data. So what the problem statement and what kind of solution we have to find. Based on that objective we need to collect data. What the required data which is feasible to finding a solution, we have to collect that data. Suppose if you want to find out any kind of grades of a particular student, we need to collect the subject information. And if you want to find out whether a patient is getting or having that disease, you need to collect all the patient's information. So something like that, what the required data, that data should be gathered here. It depends upon the data gathering is, it depends upon that objective of that what we have defined. And so after gathering the information, next one is data preparation. So data preparation is very important. So what the data we gathered, in the data so many unrelated data or so many duplicate data and missing values are there. Any missing values or any duplicate data or any unrelated data, and we have to find out, is there any missing values, is there any duplicate values, or is there any unrelated information involved in that data, and you have to remove all those things. You have to remove all those things. Then only we'll get accurate data. If the data contains unrelated information, any missing values or any duplicate values, that means here the model will not implement properly, because the unrelevant data, the duplicate data will gives you that bad predictions. So your data should be very clean and very clear. So for that purpose you need to data preparation. In the data preparation, what we have to do is we have to reduce or we have to eliminate all the unnecessary or noisy data. We have to eliminate noisy data. The data should be very clear and clean. And after clearing those elements from the data, Next we will come for that fourth one, exploratory data analysis. This is called as EDA. In the exploratory data analysis, firstly, after gathering the data, we have to understand what the input features and what is the target value we have to identify. In that, what are the input features? That means what are the independent variables and what is the dependent variable we have to identify. That means totally we have to understand that given data. That is called as exploratory data analysis. In this, we have to find out independent variables as well as dependent variables. Independent variables and as well as dependent variables. And we have to find out the correlation between that independent variable and dependent variables. And what are the independent variables we have to consider, and based on that independent variables, what type of output variable we need to get. So we have to understand that what is the correlation between these independent variables and as well as dependent variables. We have to carefully understand for the predictions. If there is no correlation, then we will not get proper predictions. So that we must carefully understand what the data we have, what the data we gathered. So after exploring the data, next we are building a machine learning model. Here in this fifth point, we need to construct a model. To construct a particular model, we are using different kinds of machine learning algorithms. And there are a number of machine learning algorithms like KNN, K nearest neighbor algorithm, random forest algorithm, K means algorithm. There are so many number of machine learning algorithms. And you select which is the best algorithm for your model. And after selecting that one particular machine learning algorithm, by using this algorithm, we have to create a model. Here, creation of model means we are giving training to the machine with the help of particular algorithm. With the help of particular algorithm, we need to give the training to a particular machine. So after giving that training, next we have to evaluate that model, whether it works properly or not. We have to find out the performance of the model what we constructed. So here, so after constructing a model, we need to find out whether the model is working properly or not, and that is called as model evaluation. So if the model is not working well, then again you have to go back and recheck your the model and recheck of your algorithms. Again you have to reconstruct the model if the model is not performing well. So that after evaluation of the model, then we have to go for that final prediction. Now we can check with a test samples. By applying some test samples, we can find out a particular prediction. So these are the different types of steps are involved in the machine learning process. First, we have to define the objective. Based on that objective, we have to gather the information, and after gathering the information, you have to clean the data. After cleaning the data, you have to understand that whether the data is in a proper manner or not. So after that, exploring the data, we need to construct a model with the help of any one machine learning algorithm. So after construct of the model, we need to check that model is performing accurately or not. If it is working well, then we will come to that final thing that is called as prediction. You just predict a value by applying some input values. This is the scenario we are following in the machine learning process. And next we will see about what are the different types of machine learning. And up to now we discussed about what is machine learning, what is the basic idea of the machine learning, how it will work. Now we will move on to another thing, that is called as different types of machine learning. So basically we have three types of machine learning. One is supervised, another one is unsupervised, and third one is reinforcement learning. These are the three types are involved in the machine learning. We will discuss one by one. First we will see about machine learning. Yes, we already discussed about machine learning is a one kind of technology which is automatically learns without any involvement of the explicitly programs. So there is no need to use any kind of programs or any kind of instructions, any kind of guidelines. So the machine is going to learn automatically. So now we will see about supervised learning. So supervised learning is the main type of machine learning. So in this we are giving training to the machine with the help of one kind of approach that is called as labeled data. Here labeled data means there is a one particular information about the data what you are giving to the machine, and here labeled means there is a one kind of description are available. So what type of data we are giving to the machine, and that data used with labels. Here labeling means one particular information is available for the data. See in the diagram we are giving different kinds of images to the machine for the training, and this is called as training phase, and this is called as we are giving the required data to the machine, and finally we are getting that prediction, right? So in this we are giving data. So this is actually supervised learning. So in the supervised learning, what type of data we are giving means we are giving labeled data. So this is called as labeled data. See, there are some images like Tom and Jerry images, right? So whatever the images we are giving to the training, we are giving the images with labels. See, this is the image, this is called as Tom, and this is the second image, this is called as Jerry. Like that we are giving the data with labels, so that the machine can understand what type of images we are giving for the training. So the machine is easily identified that what type of data you are giving. So in this phase, in the training phase, first it takes the data, and if any noisy information is there, then it cleans the data, and finally it understands that what type of data you are giving. And after that, exploring the data, so by using the algorithm, by using machine learning algorithm, it takes the training, and after training it creates a model, right? So that we are giving a labeled data means the machine can easily identify that what type of data you are giving. So finally, after model evaluation, after training, come to the model evaluation. In the model evaluation, if we are giving any kind of images like Tom and Jerry, it can easily predict that this is a Jerry and this is a Tom, because already you trained the data with the help of labeled data, so that the machine can easily understand. There is a proper training, or there is a proper guidelines of the data. So this is the data we are giving for the training, so that the machine easily identifies that what type of data you entered. So that's why in the point of prediction, so the machine can easily identify so what type of data or what type of image you are giving for testing. So this is called as supervised learning. In the supervised learning, we are always using that the data is labeled data. And these are the applications of supervised data. The supervised data can be used in retail, and it also can be used in finance, healthcare, spam detection, weather forecasting, and speech recognition. So these are the different types of applications of supervised learning. And next we'll go for unsupervised learning. In the previous supervised learning, we are giving the data with labels. Labeled data we are given for training. But in the unsupervised learning, we are giving the data only. There is no proper guidance and there is no proper guidelines for the data. That means we are simply giving the data without any labels. If you give any images like Tom and Jerry images, we are just giving only images for the training. We are not giving any kind of labels for those images. Here there are no labels. There are no label for any image. So this is called as unknown data. What the data you are giving for the training, it is called as unknown data. There is no proper guidance for the data. So that here after clearing of the data, cleaning and after EDA, finally it is used to prediction, and there is no proper guidance of the given data, so this it is unable to predict. In the supervised learning, there is a proper training, there is a proper guidelines of the data, so it can be able to predict. But in this scenario, the machine can't able to predict any images or any data because there is no proper guidelines or there is no proper guidance for that given data. So just we are giving only data, simply data without any labels. So the machine can't able to predict so what type of data you are given. But in the unsupervised learning, it performs one operation based on the features. It performs one operation that is called as clustering operation. It performs clustering operation. Clustering means the objects are divided into groups. So what are the images we are supplied for the training, and those images are divided into different kinds of groups based on their similarities. Based on their similarities, the machine is dividing all the images into a number of groups. So these groups are called as clusters. These groups are nothing but clusters. This is called one group and this is called another group. Here all the images are very near or very similar. So all these images are placed in one group. So here all the images are very similar. So all these images are placed in another group. So this is called as one cluster and this is called as another cluster. So in the unsupervised learning, it can't able to predict any value. So it performs only one operation that is called as clustering. So based on the similarities of the data, it is used to divide into a number of groups, either 2 groups or 3 groups, n groups. So it does only one operation that is called as clustering operation. Next, these are the different kinds of applications of unsupervised learning. So in the unsupervised learning, we are having only proper clustering. So cluster segmentation, product segmentation, credit card fraud detection, image and text clustering, recommendation systems. So these are the main applications of unsupervised learning. Here in the customer segmentation, based on the age or based on the products, it is divided into number of cluster groups, customer groups, like so 18 to 20. to 30 customers are divided into one group. 30 to 50 customers are divided into another group, and more than 30 are divided into another group. So based on the ages of the customers, it is divided into groups, that is called as customer segmentation, and as well as product segmentation. We can see that any shopping mall, any kind of online shopping, we can see that different kinds of products in a particular groups, right? Electronic devices, home appliances, like that we can see that what are the different types of products, like that credit card fraud detection and image and text clustering. So based on the text we are dividing into text group, and based on the images we are divided into image groups, and different types of recommendation systems. So these are the main applications of unsupervised learning. And next we will see about reinforcement learning. This is the third type, and this is the advanced machine learning type. So in this there is no proper data and there is no proper guidance, and in the supervised learning there is a proper guidance, and in the unsupervised there is a data. But in this reinforcement learning there is no such kind of facilities. Without any data or without any training, the machine is going to perform different kinds of actions, right? So here suppose if we are at somewhere else, the place we don't know, like in forest, suppose we are in one forest, just assume we are in a forest, and in this forest we don't have no other kind of facilities like food or water or other kind of facilities. There is no such kind of facilities. So there is no proper guidance where the water is available, where the food is available, what is the correct way. There is no idea. But what we have to do is we have to identify our own way, our own idea to get food or to get water or to survive in that place. For that, what kind of actions we are going to perform, which is nothing but reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is a one type of advancement of learning. Without giving any proper idea, without giving any proper guidance, we have to perform different kinds of actions. Same like our machine also works. So without involvement of the human, without involvement of any proper guidance, the machine takes different kinds of actions. So this is the agent. Here agent means person or a machine, and it performs different kinds of actions. Here environment means unknown environment, just like a forest, one island. So in that, so the machine has to perform different kinds of rewards to survive, to perform. So what kind of rewards it is going to take, which is considered as a reinforcement learning. The machine is started to learn itself based on that circumstances. So there is no other involvement. The machine has to going to do all these kinds of activities. So the applications of this reinforcement learning is self-driving cars and chess games. Nowadays we are mostly using these self-driving cars. There is no driver. So without the person, the car is automatically driving itself. It is the best example of reinforcement learning, as well as a chess game. So in the chess game also we can see that reinforcement learning techniques. So here the machine is going to learn that entire game techniques, and nobody can teach that game to that particular machine. So when it plays, it is going to learn different kinds of gaming techniques. So that is called as reinforcement learning, right? So these are the three different types of machine learning types: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. And next we will see, so what is the connection between artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. So we already studied about what is machine learning. The machine learning and deep learning is also comes under same umbrella of artificial intelligence. So machine learning and deep learning are subsets of artificial intelligence. See in the diagram. So machine learning is the subset of artificial intelligence and deep learning is the subset of machine learning. This is the connection, and the main aim of these three is same. The main aim of these three is to make the machines as humans. How the humans are thinking, how the humans are behaving. Here also these three techniques are used to make the machines as same as humans. So one thing is happened at that time, how the human is thinking, at that time how the human is behaves. In the same scenario, the machines are also making to follows that human brain, what the person is thinking, what the person is going to perform, something like that. We are making the machines. So these machines are called as intelligent machines. It is just like human brains, right? So if you see that artificial intelligence is nowadays very popular technology. In all aspects, in all environment, this artificial intelligence is involved in the robotics or in the data science or in other kind of any kind of environment. So we can use this artificial intelligence. So now we'll see about finally deep learning. So deep learning is also similar to machine learning, but in the training purpose it is only depends upon that neural networks. So suppose if you are giving any training to the machine learning, we are taking any amount of structured and unstructured data. It can be used any unstructured or structured data for the training of the machine learning. But in the deep learning point of view, we have to give only neural networks information. Then only it can able to train. This is the major difference between this deep learning and machine learning. So remaining things are almost same. So this is the difference between deep learning and machine learning, and these are the different kinds of challenges of machine learning, like not enough training data, poor quality of data, irrelevant features, non-representative training data, overfitting the data and underfitting the data. So these are the different kinds of machine learning challenges. Thank you so much.